And this is where the West is settled. And we have got 5 teams here, Ben, all capable of competing at NXN, but only 2 are going to get automatics. So the team battle will be something we're really going to keep an eye on.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck here. It's an exciting weekend of cross country. We have some really big teams, and they've had 3 weeks to prep. So let's get to it.
That's right. Everybody coming out of their state championship meets beginning in the early part of November. And this is all about the Utah rivalry, Harriman and American Fork. They match up all season long. Their athletes face each other on the track and in cross country, but you can never rule out Real Training of Colorado. Now, Real Training, known more so for their girls program. This is, of course, the kids from Niwot, one of the all-time dominating distance running groups, but the boys are going to be in the mix. And we talked about the 2 other clubs, Hamilton, the home team from here in Arizona, and Rio Rancho. Do not sleep on the team from New Mexico. In fact, there's 2 good New Mexico teams here, if you count in Organ Pipe from Las Cruces. Now, how about the individuals? We're expecting a dogfight for the individual championship, and it starts with, guess what, an American Fork kid, Caden Evans, ranked number 4 in the U.S. He is the Utah 6A large school champion. And then Ben Anderson from Highlands Ranch, Colorado, Vista Nation cross country. He has the course record on this course, 15:09. We had the Twilight meet earlier in the year, so a lot of these athletes, even though this hasn't hosted NXR for a while, the Desert Twilight meet brought a lot of these athletes here, so there's a lot of familiarity. And Ben, you look at this is a feast as a runner. You're not really worried about your footing. It's a wide open golf course. You can pretty much run the race you want to run.
Yeah, it's real hard, fast racing today, and I think it benefits the top guys. They get out. I think the big storyline is going to be that long straightaway. You gotta plan your move. You can see that finish line coming from a long ways away, but you got to keep your nerve. There's going to be some great racing up front, and I'm excited to see how it unfolds.
5K championship race for NXR Southwest. We have our athletic tracker, our athletic elevation gauge. That's not going to get a lot of work today because just minor elevation changes here on the golf course. And, of course, for the runners, you're right in the center of Mesa, Arizona. And as they come through the first mile, they're going to get a great view of any planes landing at the Phoenix Mesa Airport. Kind of unique about this course. Very much like in Tri-Cities, Washington, where the Washington High School meet is held. It's right next to the Pasco Airport. But again, ideal conditions. You see the start. It is one thing about this first start, you mentioned this, it's actually fairly narrow for a starting area for a cross-country meet. There's only so many boxes, and you saw quite the crowd. And here we go. You can stay on the grass and dirt if you want. There are some paved surfaces, cart paths, and of course you've got some trees randomly placed. A challenge for golfers, maybe a challenge for the runners.
Yeah, I think the big storyline is the last 3 weeks. What have coaches done with their athletes? Did coaches train through their state meets? And what are the 4th and 5th guys going to do? Winners come here to win, but there's a bigger dance coming in December for a lot of these top guys, but you got to get there first.
We're going to blast out straight to the north, bending to the northwest for most of the first mile. And as we start to pick up some bib numbers, we'll let you know who is running in front. You mentioned coaches. There's some big-time coaches that have been with their teams for a long time. Doug Souls with Harriman, and Timo Mostert from American Fork, Kelly Christensen with the Niwot team, and, of course, Mike Scannell from Hamilton here in Arizona. Coached a guy named Grant Fisher. He's pretty good.
It's pretty good. I think a lot like the NCAA meet we saw earlier today, good coaches know how to coach. They build culture, they build these programs, and they continue to show up at NXR and show up on the national level as well. They build those teams. They get good depth, and kids are excited to be part of that.
One of the biggest days for cross-country running of the year.
Yeah, it's all
The
hands on deck
NCAA
here.
championships. Yeah. And, of course, our 5 regionals. Here's your early leader, Aiden LaRue from Colorado United, Colorado Springs. He's Colorado 4A champ. Got a seed time of 15:02. But this race is going to be won down in the 1440s.
Sometimes you convince yourself. You get out there, you find yourself in the front, and you say, I'm feeling pretty good, and you con yourself into thinking, this is my time. I want to be up here. We'll see. We'll see what happens with him. I think it's a little early for him.
And as we speak, a large number, it's hard to call it a chase group, it's the pack. I mean, we don't have a lead group at all yet. But now we're starting to see some surges from both sides chasing LaRue.
First time on this course, they're feeling it out a little bit. I think we'll shake up to the good teams, to the good individuals here as we go through that first mile.
Charlie Vaus from Rio Rancho in one of the the top New Mexico team here. He's got a course record here, ran 14:42. He won that Desert Twilight meet. So that's him in the white.
Just looking around the course a little bit at the flags, at the trees, I see absolutely no wind. The course has been packed in by all the thousands of athletes that have run previously, so it should be fast.
Now we make the turn back to the south. Running right along Sossaman Road. There you see Voss kind of separates himself in that third spot. That is Keenan Daggy from Desert Oasis in Las Vegas. He's the Nevada champ. He won the Nevada 5A meet by 27 seconds.
That's impressive running. A little bit of a pack coming through this first mile.
And here comes our first split.
Is that a 4:36 opening mile? That's pretty impressive running.
Daggy scoring 4:37. So LaRue 4:36.9, Daggy 4:37, Voss 4:37. Ben Anderson, Vista Nation, we knew he'd be in there. Just 2 seconds back, Kyle Stedman from Mountain View, that's Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Another Vista Nation is Adams, Brogan Collins from Colorado United, so LaRue's teammate. And there's Jaron Wisner, we talked about Organ Mountain from Las Cruces. He's in the A spot. Bridger Jaggy from, he's unattached runner. And Corbin Coombs, who from Organ Mountain. That's your top 10.
Aiden LaRue is running tough. He wants to be up front.
And, you know, this is where your seed times mean nothing. If you're chasing somebody and you're running what you think is your pace and you're not making up ground, that's a problem.
And those top guys, they have to kind of make a little bit of a decision. Am I here to win it, or am I here to get my team through?
It's Ben Anderson in the black. Again, he was the Colorado 5A champ. He's sitting in second right now. There you get a great look, the aerial view, and look at this crowd lined up to support these athletes. Of course, we've had a huge day. This is the 14th race of the day And a lot of the athletes staying around to support the championship runners. So our breakaway is now 7 athletes.
At our house, we sometimes use the word redonkulous.
You know, these
And again,
kids have been
Anderson
thinking
still
about this.
chasing LaRue.
81 athletes cleared the first mile under 5
These
minutes.
athletes have been thinking about this for the last 4 or 5 months since the summer when they were putting in that big volume, and the next, few minutes kind of decides their fate.
And will they be making the trip to Portland to run on another golf course? Glendevere, the longtime home of NXN. Well, here's our lead group, and now we've got 6 athletes very close together. It's our same group that was out there through the 1 mile split.
Is that Oliver Horton, 740 from Colorado Cougars? Kind of right in the middle of that pack.
Another one of the Colorado Springs clubs, Coronado High School. Of course, the Springs, you have a chance to train and run at a minimum of 7,000 feet, and they have one of the best state meet courses in the country, that Norris Penrose Ranch, where you get up to, there's a major climb. They call it the Big Willis Hill, and you're up at 8,000 feet in the middle of the race.
So today should be easy peasy on this flat, hard
no
surface.
kidding. Coming to the 2 mile. And now our lead group is 5. And it looks like Voss has gone to the lead now. But this group all together. You see LaRue now on the outside left.
He's hanging tough, though.
Yeah, they're all playing off of each other, so here's your 2 mile, 9:29. Anderson, the leader, LaRue second. There's Horton's made the big move, up 12 spaces since the 1 mile split, Stedman and Voss. So there's your 5. And then it's only another second back, Brogan Collins, Daggy. So there's still really 7 in play here with about a mile to go.
And as you watch the bottom screen, these are really your 4th, 5th guys that are going to make those big impacts on the team score. Everybody matters. They got to keep running. And they got to hold their nerve as they come around this big turn to make that last big run for the finish.
Now there you see some partial scoring. Of course, this is highly unscientific, but it's everybody you'd expect, real training, Niwot kids, Harriman.
I think the big motto for cross country is every shoulder-to-shoulder battle matters. Those 1-2 kids you can pick up in the last 100, 200 meters can mean the big difference between your season ends today or you go up to Portland to fight for a championship.
Now we're making the big turn on the north end of the course. This is a part of the golf course you don't want your ball to be in. That water, the rocks.
Man, do we ever have a great race shaping up in front.
Big surge now. It's our American fork runner. And this is Evans, who is considered the slight favorite.
Is it too early, though, Bob? You can see that finish line probably, but there's still a lot of racing left.
And you literally can't see it from here because this is a long run down fairways, maybe right here. when you make this turn, you're getting a look.
But he looks strong. He's planned this for a long time. He's looked at the course. He's seen these other guys at meets. He knows what he's capable of. But is his timing right?
Caden Evans started way in the back. Now, he was one of our ones to watch. He was 40th at 1 mile, moved up to 8th at the 2 mile, and now is coming in for the big finish. Again, has the number 4 time in the U.S. this year. He was second in this race. He was second at NXN last year. He won this race a year ago.
And Aiden LaRue, who was off to that really hard start, still there, sitting in 3rd place right now.
Yeah, this is going to be a good finish for him. Now you see the crowds getting bigger. Little dip. That might be the biggest elevation gain of the whole course, running up that little hill to that path.
Just enough to screw up your cadence, but not enough to screw up any of these top guys.
He's Colorado State, or Utah State champion of the largest classification. By the way, the Utah State meet is also run on a golf course at Sugar House, southeast part of Salt Lake. That is quite a hilly golf course, so it's a good test.
It's like the Thunderdome here with all these people lining the course. It's hard to hear yourself think, and you're just running shoulder to shoulder trying to win those battles.
Think of the adrenaline here. Look at this. This is a great turnout and just a great job for all of our other competitors, families, officials, giving them the love as they come to the line. We're less than a minute from the finish. And Evans going to leave no doubt. The last little bit of dirt.
Well.
Again, was sitting back in 41st place after 1 mile. I think there was a plan in play. And here we come to the line. Caden Evans, your winner, NXR Southwest, and leading American Fork's effort to repeat as the team champion.
Look at this time, though. It is fast, hard racing today.
14:24:37. Kyle Stedman, Mountain View, 14:27:66. Voss of 14:30. Which is, by the way, they just destroyed the course record here. It was Voss's 14:42. Oliver Horton hung in that group to finish 4th. And how about Aiden LaRue? Led early, did a lot of the heavy lifting, gets him a top 5.
Jonah Tang, Carter Moore, Corbin Randall, Hunter Robbie. And
Harriman getting some places. Harriman on their way maybe to the team title, finishing 7th, 9th, and 11th.
By now, almost all the teams have their top 4, top 5 in. Kind of see how this unfolds quick.
And I want to correct myself. Caden Evans did not win this last year. His team did. American Fork was the winner. It was another Utah runner, though, Danny Simmons, who won twice in a row. And he's getting ready to join BYU after his LDS mission. So another Utah runner, not shocking, winning Southwest.
Looks like Harriman won the day.
So looking at the team points, we're continuing to update all the way through, but it looks like Harriman in charge and Real Training 2nd, American Fork 3rd. So our experts at DieStat get it right again.
To the camera, I believe that's runnerspace looking for you. Harriman.
We'll be hearing from Caden Evans in just a moment.
Harriman right now 14 points up on Niwa.
And Harriman looking to return to Portland.
T-Bill is
Look at that great pack running by those top two teams. 7, 9, 11, 18, 38 by Harriman. That's deep draining right there.
You know, last year they were second to American Fork here, but then went to Portland and won it all. And American Fork was second.
As we mentioned, this Southwest region was going to be one of the most competitive on the boys and girls side. And American Fork gets it right on the top.
Looks like they're holding third. And then let's see what happens with Rio Rancho and Hamilton. Again, more runners to finish. Rio Rancho currently 6th, Hamilton currently 9th.
But these scores really show the value of those 4th, 5th runners. You got to get them higher up.
You might find this
and sometimes that little pass in the chute for one position makes a difference.
This is kind of like when you go to Colorado and you count the 14.
Going back, it's those shoulder-to-shoulder battles that really matter, especially when you start looking at that 3rd, 4th, 5th guy.
Men went 14 minutes.
Right now, 4, 5, 6 is really close between Taylorsville, Utah, Valor, Club XC, and Rio Rancho.
Here are the
So we talked about being in the 1440s. We had 15 finishes under 1450. And under 1431, we had 5. So great conditions, fast race, and Caden Evans does what he came here to do, destroys the course record.
And I know at the state meet, Harriman had a tight finish with American Fork, but I just wonder if Harriman was kind of training through it, knowing this was the big